Every time you clean out your fireplace or fire pit, you're probably doing the same thing most people do. You wait until the ash cools, grab a shovel, dump it in a trash bag, and send it off to the landfill. All while your garden might be quietly starving for potassium. If you burn wood regularly in winter, you might fill several buckets of ash over a season. That's not just dust and waste. That's concentrated minerals your trees spent years pulling up from deep in the soil. And if you're throwing it out, you're literally throwing away free fertilizer. The problem is, wood ash has a scary reputation. You've probably heard things like, it's too strong, it'll burn your plants, it'll ruin your soil, or only use a tiny bit, or you'll wreck everything. So most gardeners either avoid it altogether, or they toss a random handful on a bed and hope for the best. What if, instead of fearing wood ash, you could turn it into a gentle, controlled potassium gold for your garden in just 48 hours? That's exactly what I'm going to walk you through. I took the ash from a single evening of burning hardwood and turned it into a safe, liquid potassium booster my plants can actually use. No guessing, no cloud of dust blowing in your face, and no risk of over-liming your soil. And you can do the same thing with nothing more than a bucket, water, and a bit of patience. So here's the plan. We're going to turn that dusty, hard-to-handle ash into a controlled liquid potassium gold in 48 hours, then dilute it and use it where it actually helps. Step 1. Choose the right ash and handle it safely. You only want ash from clean, untreated wood. That means no pressure-treated lumber, no painted or stained boards, no plywood, no particle board, no charcoal briquettes with additives. If you used your fireplace or fire pit to burn trash, cardboard with colored inks, or construction scraps, don't use that ash in the garden. For this method, think firewood like oak, maple, hickory, fruitwoods, and other clean hardwoods. Let the ash cool completely. This is important. You don't want hidden embers still glowing. Once it's cool, I like to gently scoop it into a metal bucket using a small shovel or fireplace scoop. Try not to create big dust clouds. A simple dust mask isn't a bad idea if you're dealing with a lot of ash. For this batch, I used about 2 cups of fresh hardwood ash. That's a good starting point. You can scale up later once you're comfortable with the process. Step 2. Build your potassium extraction. You'll need the following: 2 cups of clean hardwood ash, a bucket or large container, 1 to 2 gallons is perfect, non-chlorinated water, rainwater is ideal, or tap water that's sat out overnight, a stirring stick or old spoon, a fine mesh strainer, old t-shirt or cheesecloth, and optionally, a teaspoon of unsulfured molasses or brown sugar. Pour your ash into the bottom of the bucket, then slowly add water. For 2 cups of ash, I like to start with about 4 to 5 cups of water. You don't want to fill the whole bucket yet. We're aiming for a concentrated extract that will dilute later, not a giant bucket of weak ash soup. As soon as the water hits the ash, you'll see it cloud up and start turning a pale grayish brown. That's minerals, especially potassium, dissolving into the water. Give it a thorough stir, scraping the bottom so no dry ash clumps are hiding. If you're using molasses or sugar, stir that in now. The sugar isn't for the plants, it's for the microbes that will help soften this mixture and make it a gentler input for your soil life. Now, this next part is simple but important. Don't snap on a tight lid. You want the bucket covered so nothing falls in. An old towel, a loose-fitting lid, or a piece of cloth with a rubber band works great, but you don't want it sealed. We're not trying to create pressure. We just want a quiet, aerated soak. Step 3. The 48-hour transformation. For the first 24 hours, your main job is to stir. Set the bucket somewhere out of direct rain and sun. A shed, garage, or under a porch roof is perfect. A couple of times during the day, come by and give it a good stir. Each time you do, the liquid will look a little more uniform, and the ash will settle more slowly. By the end of day 1, the water should be noticeably darker, like weak tea or light coffee. When you smell it, you shouldn't get a harsh chemical odor. It might smell a little alkaline or mineral, but it shouldn't be nasty. Over the next 24 hours, you're just letting that water keep pulling out soluble minerals. Stir once or twice more. You don't have to babysit it. Some people stop right here after 24 hours. I like to give it the full 48 for a couple of reasons. It allows more of the soluble potassium to move into the water, and it gives the mixture a chance to settle so you're not pouring as much fine ash into your final product. By the end of day 2, you'll notice a clear separation. A darker liquid on top, and a soft layer of pale muddy ash at the bottom. That's exactly what we want. Step 4. Strain and create your potassium gold. Now it's time to separate the liquid from the solids. Set up a second bucket or watering can. Place your strainer, cloth, or old t-shirt over the top and slowly pour the liquid through. Take your time. You don't want to dump the bottom sludge in all at once. What comes through should look like a cloudy brown liquid, darker than it was on day one, but not jet black. This is your concentrated wood ash extract, potassium, calcium, and a blend of other minerals dissolved in water. The heavy sludge left in the first bucket? That's mostly insoluble material, a mix of lime, unburned charcoal bits, and minerals that didn't dissolve. Don't throw it away. You can lightly sprinkle that in your compost pile or on acidic paths you're trying to dry out, like muddy walkways. Just don't pile it thickly around plant roots. And now, back to the liquid. Right now, this concentrate is too strong to pour straight on your plants. I like to dilute it at least 1 part ash extract to 4 parts water for general use. So if you strained out, say, 1 quart of concentrate, you'd mix that into about a gallon of water. That becomes your potassium gold, a mild, mineral-rich liquid you can use as a soil drench around plants that love potassium and don't mind a little extra calcium. Step 5. Where and how to use it. So, who really appreciates this stuff? Tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, especially once they start flowering and setting fruit. Most fruit trees and berry bushes that don't demand very acidic soil. Brassicas like cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, onions, garlic, leeks, and other alliums, and many flowering ornamentals that prefer neutral to slightly alkaline conditions. You'll want to take your diluted potassium gold in a watering can and apply it around the root zone, not directly on the leaves. Think of it as a gentle boost, not a main meal. Once every 3 to 4 weeks during the growing season is plenty. What I don't do is pour this on acid-loving plants, blueberries, azaleas, rhododendrons, camellias, or on potatoes in a bed where scab has been a problem. Those plants prefer lower pH, and too much ash-based input can push them in the wrong direction. If your soil is already on the alkaline side, say pH 7.5 or above, I treat this as a spot treatment for container plants or particular beds, not a regular whole garden drench. The beauty of this 48-hour method is that it gives you control. Instead of random handfuls of ash and clouds of dust, you're handling a measured, diluted liquid you can direct exactly where it's needed. If you've got a fireplace, stove, or backyard fire pit, you now have access to a steady, practically free supply of potassium gold, as long as you're willing to spend 2 days letting a bucket quietly do the work. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more great gardening tips. Now, go try this with your next batch of cooled hardwood ash. Start small, dilute well, and use it on a couple of tomato plants or a favorite rose. Watch how they respond over the next few weeks and make sure to drop us a comment below on your results. And once you see what a bit of smart wood ash can do, you'll never look at that pile of gray dust the same way again.